Alright, I'm back. I'm gonna try to make this the last episode because this went a little too long. I was hoping 5 episodes, but nope. 6. I hope. Let's continue. Such a hasty conclusion. It's not like you, Christoph, Gavin. What are you saying? Why not consider the other possibility? That there was another person in the room at the time of the murder. Right, like Mr. Wright was saying before recess. A single card was swapped into the victim's hand after the murder. And the one who was swapped with the card didn't know the other two colors of cards were being used. A fourth person.
The Fury again, your fourth person doesn't exist.
Indeed. That's why I've decided to bring the case to the court. Here where there's no escape, no chance, no deception. The perfect place to catch the real criminal. The real criminal? And we're lucky a clue, the real criminal's identity, was kindly provided for us. And the right at the beginning of the trial, no less.
What?
Apollo, perhaps you know what I'm talking about. Sorry? Remember what I said? The fourth person who swapped the cards made one critical error. He or she wasn't considering the color of the back of the cards. Right, but couldn't such an obvious mistake occur? The cards were used for the last game were red. Yet there was one person here, in our court, who thought the cards were blue. I had the impression, but why? Well, Apollo, think you could figure out who it was?
It's not me, I swear.
Who is this fourth person? Why do I always have to be put on the spot like this? Let's hear the defense has to say who was it. Who and thought the card was used to the final game that were blue? As I expected. Your eyes and ears are as sharp as your hair. I was right. Christoph, Gavin, you were the fourth person at that night. But of course Mr. Gavin knows the color of the cards. How would he? As you can see, the photo of the crime scene is black and white. You can't tell which of the cards are blue and the ones that are on the floor of the table. But look, you can see the color of this photo. Yes, but that's when he said the cards were blue. It was well before the evidence came to light. Is that true? The defendant was engaged in the game of poker with the victim? Yet only that the game was a pursuit sense, a competition, Your Honor.
A competition?
Yes, a test of wits. A silent clash of passion. Only the cards there were black, weathered and blue flame, know the final outcome. Well, Kristoff? Mr. Gavin?
Mr. Gavin, is this is something the matter?
No, nothing. Excuse me. I was just so sudden. It was just so sudden. Right, aren't you seriously accusing me? Are you? Oh, Kristoff. You know even that I'd take a joke this far. I'd never take a joke this far.
This has gone beyond ridiculous. Beyond dumb. This is instantly. The defendant accusing his own defense attorney of murder?
I assure you, I'm quite sane.
But what's the impossible conclusion? The connection that could Mr. Gavin have Mr. Gavin have to be the victim?
I wasn't aware that I had a connection to Mr. Smith either. Yes, but
Mr. Gavin and the victim have never met.
Well, what if they have? Huh? There is a possibility after all. And they have met that night before the game started.
What are you suggesting?
Is this the real truth Mr. Wright is saying? Staying silent? Well, one thing to do. The defense would like no such request. Mr. Gavin? Testimony must relate to the case. How could anything happen before the game of poker be related?
I'm not sure I follow, Mr. Gavin.
As explained before, the defense believes that Miss Orley...
Am I to assume that you to speak for Mr. Justice in this? He is the defense, not you. Mr. Justice, the matter of Mr. Wright's testimony is up to you.
Oh, okay.
Go. Does the court, in your opinion, need to hear Mr. Wright's testimony?
This was Mr. Wright's strategy. He was planning on this all along, and I intend to see it through. The defense would like to request that Mr. Wright testify to the court. To justice? You would betray me, your teacher? I'm sorry, Mr. Gavin. This isn't about loyalty. This is about the truth.
Very well. The defendant, Mr. Wright, will take the stand. Please.
That evening, Kristoff and I had dinner. We sat at the table in this photo. Shady Smith walked in 5 minutes after Kristoff left. When the trap failed, Smith hit the waitress. The girl was knocked out cold, and Smith was uncontrollable. I left to call the police. When I returned, he was dead, blood streaming from the cut from his forehead. That's when I made another phone call to the defense attorney, Mr. Gavin. Attorney Gavin.
Mr. Gavin, you were at the Borscht Bowl Club the night of the murder?
I dined with him rather frankly. And he talked to the defendant on the phone directly after the murder? Quite against my will, I had become involved in a murder. I thought I might need a lawyer, so I called him. You were planning this all along, weren't you, right? Just because you dragged me into the little murder trial. One thing I want is the truth. As I did back then, and now. I thought my office was doing you a favor when we took your defense. It appears I was wrong.
Very well, the defense may cross-examine the witness.
Justice. Sir? He's lying, and you're going to expose him. Understood.
Mr. Gavin versus Mr. Ray, this can't end well. Why can't I have a normal trial?
No, normal boy. In the evening, Christoph and I had dinner. "5 minutes, so 2 of them could have passed in the restaurant during the time. That would have been fateful encounter, to be sure." Oh, Mr. Wright, what was it you said? Christoph Gavin and Shady Smith may have met? I believe I said that. Here, I was nervous about this meeting, and now we're here, just like past in the hall?
Does this seem a little weak as a for murder?
Oh, would it? If that's the case, if that was really happened. Come on, Mr. Wright, what are you hiding this time? About this failed trap. This is the same trap that Miss Olga Orley mentioned. The plan was simple, elegant, really. You see, we set up a trap of all sorts. I was plant a card in Mr. Wright's pockets beforehand, and then deal the 5 aces during their game. And when their hands were revealed, Smith would call him out for search right. He would pull out the planted card, and the trap would be snapshot. You swap the cards. Just like that, the legend would be dashed to pieces. Yes, a harmless prank in a sense. It was by a quick of a fate that I happened to discover it.
A quick?
I happened to put my hands in my pocket and found the card. The card that she planted? Yes, I snuck a peek at it, and it was the 5 of Hearts. I had a feeling something might happen, so I disposed of the card before the game.
Dispose? Where?
There was an empty bottle of grape juice, and I hid it, and I've been drinking right beside me. I threw the card inside the bottle.
The empty bottle of grape juice?
The murder weapon? Yes, I rolled it up and shoved it in the colored case glass. Makes it hard to see.
A bottle of wits between the deceiver and the would-be deceived.
It sounds terrific drama. A card inside a murder weapon? That's strange. Did the police miss their investigation? Maybe I'll take a look.
Mr. Wright, the poker head of court room 3 approves of this bottle of wits. Perhaps revise your testimony with new information.
Oh, wait. Maybe I'm wrong. Yep, I'm wrong. Why in the bottle? I perceived my opponent immediately. Intimidately. Interment tramp, you see. I knew it was coming.
Ho ho ho, so you struck first. I like that.
I know every trick in the book. They don't work on me. At last, when you get lucky and you stick to your hand in your pocket, they don't. Why the bottle? I received my opponent's... Oh. Mr. Wright, if I may. Yes. Take a look at the photograph of the crime scene. See the victim here? He was wearing a hat. I would think that you could see blood through the forehead. Good point. Justice. Next time you point out and inconceivably put a little more oomph into it. Mr. Wright, can you explain this to the court? I forgot to mention, I was the one who put that hat on his head.
Eh? You...
Put the hat on the man's head? He wore it through the entire poker game. After calling the police, when I returned from the scene of the crime, his head was in full view, shining bright like the photograph. I picked the hat up on the floor and put it on his head.
What? Why? Why did you do anything like that?
All I can say, I'm sorry. But the only thing I touched in the crime scene, so Miss Orley didn't see it. It being the victim, or his head. I think not. She was out cold. I believe I was the only one who witnessed his head. Here we go again. Mr. Gavin? Pardon. I just seemed to the client determined to lie his way through the case. He's still on our client, isn't he? In any case, please continue the cross-examination. I'm afraid the decisive conclusion calls for decisive evidence. Oh. Good evening, Christoph. Ray was talking about. So two of them could have passed in the restaurant during the time. That would have been faithful encounter, to be sure. Oh, no. But
trying to tell me? One, two, three, four.
I was right. Mr. Wright, yes. Take a look at this photograph and the scene of the crime. I would think that you could see blood on his forehead. Good point. Nope. Okay, I was just thinking about... Are you kidding me? That was the question? Oh my god. I examined the bottle and I don't see any card in here. No?
No, Mr. Wright, surely. It wasn't you. Of all of you, have to say yourself.
I can't say that I know what happened to the card. I did put it in the bottle, however. Huh? Perhaps a fifth person came and took it out, or maybe a sixth person will have helped.
Mr. Gavin? Mr. Wright is your client.
My apologies, Your Honor.
I won't have you disagreeing the investigation either.
We looked inside that bottle. There was nothing. What's going on? Is Mr. Wright hand winking at us again? Or did the card just disappear? I believe that's enough of that. Mr. Gavin, the witness testimony is more travesty than riddled with lies. I'm beginning to see how you came to lose your attorney's badge 7 years ago. Well, you certainly have a unique way of treating your clients, Kristoff. I know you. I believe it was you who threw the first stone. Mr. Wright, if you intend to ever tell the truth about this case, it's now or never. Don't mislead. I haven't told a single lie here. When I noticed the trap, I put the card in the bottle, to dispose of it. And when I put the hat on his victim's head, just like I said, had a reason for doing that as well.
A reason?
That reason is right here. Your cell phone? That's right. And recall that I spoke with the defense attorney Gavin calling the police. Just in case I recalled our conversation.
What's this?
Now that we're all here, I see no reason I should play it back in court. Kristoff, I seem to be in a bit of trouble. What's this? Game not going well? Something like that. The gentleman who challenged you didn't turn out to be good. He turned out to be dead. Someone hit him hard. You mean someone cracked that flawless bone chinata? China piata? Or something? I don't know. It was you, wasn't it? Me? Please. The cops should be here any moment. I'm in your hands. Should have come to that. It's a kind of pro-clean, very smooth and shiny. Not plate, but pate. I don't know. Referring to a certain gentleman on the forehead.
The court appreciates the defense's duration in the court, not indicating that my forehead.
Wait a second, something right's not about this phone call. So after Mr. Gavin ate dinner with you, he left the Borscht Bull Club? Most certainly. Then how did he know? When did he see this bone china plate? Pate? I don't know.
Oh, that's right.
Yes. That was when I began to see my good friend in a different light. Troubled, I returned to the crime scene, and when I spotted Mr. Smith head again, I realized I was wrong. Well, Mr. Gavin, the stage has been set. Perhaps you would like to explain this to the court. Exactly how did you come by your privileged knowledge of the victim's head? So this is your reason. The reason why you put this victim's hat back on. Your point, Mr. Gavin? It really comes down to this, has it, Phoenix Wright?
Order! I will have order! Mr. Payne!
Yes, Your Honor?
I believe the court has been left with no other choices. Are you prepared to hear defense attorney Gavin's testimony?
Well, if as a prosecutor, I...
Very well. We'll break for 10. After which Mr. Gavin will take a stand for the cross-examination.
Crystal clear, Your Honor.
Very well. This court will file recess for the day.
Oh, I'm so sorry that I couldn't figure it out. Oh my goodness, I'm so dumb.
May I?
What?
Hello, sir. Please pick a card.
What's this all about? This one.
Excellent. I have a message for you. The last hand is about to be played. You need a trump card to make it.
A trump card?
The card that you have chosen is magical. Use it wisely, and the game is yours. That's all.
An ace? Where do I remember that card from?
Mr. Smith has 3 aces, and Mr. Wright's 2 is 5 ace in all. It is true. I've seen it. The 5th ace. There was no cheating. There was cheating, I swear.
This missing 5th ace. Wait, botch of red? Blood?
You have the trump card. Now, it's up to you to cut the deck and draw the truth. My father's fate in your hands. I know you can do it.
The bloodstained card is my trump card for finding the truth. I fell deep in thought as my mind raced to understand what this all meant. That girl, I seen her recently, but where? That's what I made the connection. Yeah, I lied. I'm gonna cut it. We're cutting it. See you in the next one.